right now you've probably seen, entertainers and Hollywood in general is dealing with the cancel culture and censorship. Is there anything that you could do in your career early on that you can't do now? How is this environment we're in right now influencing your work?
I think that the best of all of it is that we are rigorously encouraged to look at how we do things, and I don't know that anything for me, I think, has changed. Our goal is always to be, sounds silly, sounds cliched, sounds pat, but the goal, as far as you can, and you fail 1,000 times a day, is to be kind and try and apply that in the workplace and listen. I think it's a part of what's happening at the time. At least many more voices are being heard. There's a process where more conversations are going on that are important. They're sometimes pretty difficult, but they're important. And I think I'm glad to be in an age where you're having to listen in a different way. And I think it's important. I think it's a development, and I think we have to see a kind of positive trajectory in that. Change, like the change in the film, change is never easy. You wish human development would go in a nice smooth curve like that, but it doesn't. It usually hits something hard, birth, death, marriages, traumatic events in our life, and then we are sometimes gifted with some insight. At the moment, socially, we are having that sort of, those kinds of conversations, and inevitably it's difficult, but ultimately I think it's valuable.
So do you think the environment with cancel culture or the political correctness, like what Dave Chappelle is dealing with, the backlash he's getting, do you think it's good for entertainment overall, or do you think it could be negative over time, have a negative impact?
I'm not familiar with the details of that story, nor have I seen the show, nor do I really don't know the details of that, so it'd be inappropriate for me to comment on that. I think that in the film, a character says you're either with us or you're against us. I think that is too severe a set of lines to draw when it comes to human behavior. And much of humanity lies across the lines in between, and some of those things are irresponsible, some of them are cruel, some of them are very compassionate. But they're a mixture. There is a grey area that as difficult as it is, we have to try and understand. But we have to keep listening, and I think answers can be complex and considered, and they should be. And people are also perfectly entitled to feel very passionate, and instant reactions to things. But still, I believe that, consideration where it applies to complex issues has to work.
Because there's always that argument, right? Free expression. I should be able to say what I want, especially if you're a comedian or you're doing a comedy. You should be able to say what you want and not, have any backlash against it because it's for entertainment or it's for your free expression. Do you think you have to draw a line at some point on that, or is free expression does all content encompass the free expression?
I don't think that drawing a line is quite the right way to look at it. I think that it is a complex scenario. I think you have to understand that there's a whole complex ecosystem of views in all of that, and you've got to understand, acknowledge, and respect when somebody disagrees vehemently with you. And I think everybody has to negotiate their own fine line in the sand about what they find acceptable. Then I think it's acceptable to say that it's unacceptable to you, but also to accept that other people may not agree with that. So it's complex, human, and it requires, some taking of some breaths along with the feeling of some feelings.
Mm-hmm.